It's recording now.
Great, thank you so much. Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Berry with Fairfax County Department of Transportation, and I want to welcome you to this meeting to discuss the proposed winter 2026 service changes. We want to remind you that this meeting is being recorded and may be posted on the county website or YouTube channel. This afternoon, we'll offer the opportunity at the end of the presentation to ask your questions. At these times, participants will be able to ask their questions aloud. The chat feature has been disabled for this meeting, so we will not be taking written questions during the presentation. We also encourage you to submit your comments to today's meeting using the online survey, online feedback form, written feedback, or a phone call. Again, we will have information on the various ways to provide comments at the end of the presentation. I'd now like to welcome Christian Bisai with our transit planning team at FCDOT. Christian, would you like to begin the presentation?
Sure. Thank you, Kayla. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending the Winter 2026 Proposed Service Changes presentation. Today's agenda will start with a brief introduction of the proposed service changes, followed by a summary and a justification for the changes. Then we will go over for the route profile for a more in-depth explanation of the changes. Then the Title VI, which is a Civil Rights Act of 1964 that prohibits discrimination against an individual or group intentionally or unintentionally on the basis of race, color, and national origin in any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Finally, as part of the presentation, we will conclude with a list of steps that will be taken in the coming months. So the next slide is an introduction of the proposed service changes, and the route included Route 335, 401, 402, 553, 651, and 983. We are very excited to bring to you guys these proposed changes with you in mind. So the next slide will be a table, is a summary of the changes. And to your far right here, this column, you have a list of the routes that are part of the changes, followed by a description of the changes. Next, you have a justification. Why are we making those changes for each route? And then you have what we're proposing. This is the current frequency, and this is what we're proposing for as a new frequency. You also have the current level, the current span, so the existing service hours, and this is what we're proposing as new service hours. Then the last column indicates whether or not the route operates on a weekend. One thing to note is that of all routes, Route 983 is the only route where changes will take place during the weekend service. Every other route will be during the weekday. So the next slide is a route profile where we go more into details of the changes and how the route actually operates. So we will start with Route 335. It is a route that operates during rush hour only from Franconia, Springfield, with service to Fort Belvoir. Currently, the route operates on a detour using the Tully Gate, and we are proposing to make that detour permanent, as well as improving on-time performance with adjustment to the runtime. When you use Route 335, you can connect to over 21 routes, including 19 connector routes, and have access to the Blue Lines and the VRE. With Route 335, you have access to multiple facilities within a quarter-mile distance, which includes one metro rail station, 3 activities center. You can see that down here. This box details how many activity center you can access. Two, you have two hospitals that are accessible to you, one park and ride. So you can use Route 335 as a transportation mode to travel around the county and outside, whether it is for employment, for leisure, or for doctor appointments. You can also connect to other routes, as I mentioned here. You have a list of routes here to travel locally or outside of the county. The next route is Route 401. This is a local route with service to Tyson from Franconia Springfield Metro Station in the northbound direction. With Route 401, with Route 402, Route 401 is considered one of our top performing routes as it provides multiple connection in and outside of the county. It operates all day and provide transfer to over 42 routes. You have a list of routes here you can transfer, and 34 of those routes are connector routes. They're listed here on the next to connector. You also can use 401 to access the blue and the orange line, as well as the VRE, the Ferrisburg line. So whether you are going to school, to work, or for leisure, you can take Route 403 as it gives you access to 4 high and middle school, to 4 metro rail stations, 7 activity center, 1 hospital, and 3 park and ride. So for service hours, what we're proposing, I'm sorry, I didn't cover that in the previous one. Let's go back to 335. For 335, for service hour, what we're proposing is the first trip will start at 6:05 and 10:15 during the AM rush, and then during the PM rush, it will start at 2:50 until 7 PM. During rush hour, the bus will operate every 20 to 25 to 35 minutes. There is no service during non-rush hour because it's a rush hour service only. It doesn't operate on a weekend, no service on Saturday or Sunday. So we go back to 401, sorry about that. With 401, what we're proposing for service hours is the first trip will start at 3:35 a.m. and it will end at 1:32 a.m. We're not making any changes to the Saturday service, so it will remain as current, with service starting at 4:25 and ending at 1:07 Saturday and Sunday. For the weekday where we're making changes, the rush hour service will be 15 to 20 minutes, and the non-rush hour service will be every 20 to 30 minutes. So we will move on to Route 402. 402 is the reverse direction of Route 401, with service from Tyson to Franconia Springfield Metro Station. Similar to Route 401, Route 402 provides multiple connection in and outside of the county. And just like I mentioned with 401, you can use 402 to transfer to over 42 routes, including 34 connector routes. And you have access to 4 high and middle school, 4 metro rail station, 2 transit center, 7 activity center, 1 hospital, 3 park and ride. So it is a great route you can use to travel inside of the county and to connect to other routes to travel, whether it is inside or outside for different type of activities. So what we're proposing for Route 402, again, we're not making any changes on a weekend. It's weekday only. So the first trip will start at 4:02 and it will end the next day at 2:26 a.m. The rush hour service will be every 15 to 20 minutes. The non-rush hour service will be every 20 to 30 minutes. Again, no changes to this weekend service. Saturday and Sunday remain the same with the same frequency. The next route we will go over is Route 553. It is a feeder route and it serves a number of residential areas in Reston and Herndon and connect to 2 metro rail stations. It operates during rush hour, and you can have access to multiple facilities, but you can also use the route to connect to over 17 routes, and they're all listed here, and 16 of them connector route. And also you have the Loudoun County Transit Center where you can transfer to Route 312, but you can also use Route 553 to connect to the Silver Line to travel whether it is inside the county or outside of the county. So what we're proposing is to improve service reliability to ensure that the buses are coming on time. And for service hours, we are proposing the first trip to start at 5:45 a.m. and end at 9:46 a.m. during the AM rush hour. And during the PM rush hour, the first trip will start at 3:10 p.m. and end at 7:20 p.m. For frequency, the route will operate every 25 minutes during rush hour, and non-rush hour, there's no service because it's a rush hour service only. It doesn't operate on a weekend, so no service on Sunday or Saturday. As I mentioned earlier, with Route 553, whether you're going to school, to work, or you just want to attend an activity center for leisure, you can use Route 553 to transfer to multiple facilities within a quarter mile distance. And those include two high and middle school, two metro rail station, three activity center, two park and ride, and one government slash community slash human services centers. So it's a great route to travel inside of the county. And if you also want to use it to travel outside of the county, you can use it and connect to other routes. The next route is Route 651. This is a route that operates in Chantilly with service to our facility off of Monument Drive, the Monument Drive Transit Center. It operates all day, and Route 651 allows you to have access to 16 routes, with 14 of them being connector routes. You have a list of all routes you can transfer, connector route as well as Metro Bus. Route 651 also gives you access to Stonecroft Boulevard, Conference Center Drive, Newbrook Drive, Walney Road, and mainly Route 50, where you can transfer to some of those routes listed on the transfer available. So what we're proposing for changes is a runtime adjustment to the weekday service to improve on time performance. We want to make sure that the buses are coming on time more often. The level of service remains the same, and we're not making any changes to the weekend service. So for the service hours, the weekday is at from 5:45 a.m. till 11:06 p.m. No changes to this weekend service. Saturday and Sunday, still 7:15 a.m. till 11:08 p.m. with a 60 minutes frequency. For the weekday frequency during rush hour, the route will operate every 30 minutes, and during non-rush hour, every 60 minutes. When you use Route 651, you have access to one high or middle school, to three activity centers, to one park and ride, to three government slash community slash human services center. So it's a great route to travel, whether you're traveling in Chantilly or you're coming down to Monument Drive, or if you want to go to the mall. It is a great route you can utilize to connect to multiple routes to travel in and outside of the county. Finally, we have Route 983. As I noted earlier, this is the changes are only applicable to the weekend service. So what we improving is weekday the weekend service. I'm sorry. We're making adjustment to the weekend service to make sure that the buses are coming on time more often. No changes to weekday service. Also, we are relocating the bus stop at Dulles Airport per the Dulles Airport request. So the route alignment will be impacted. The bus stop will be relocated to the metro rail station at the airport. So you can still use the bus to get to have access to the metro to the airport. Sorry about that. So for the weekday service, Route 983 will operate from 5:45 a.m. until 7:20 p.m. And during rush hour, it will operate every 25 to 30 minutes on a weekday and during non-rush hour every 60 minutes. Saturday and Sunday, the route will start at 7:09 a.m. on Saturday and ends at 7:02 p.m. And for Sunday, the first trip starts at 7:09 a.m. and it will end at 6:59 p.m. The Saturday and Sunday frequency is 40 to 60 minutes. With Route 983, you have access to multiple facilities within a quarter-mile distance. So it's another route you can utilize to travel outside or inside the county for diverse activity, depending of what you're using it for. So you can use it to have access to a metro rail station, actually two metro rail station, in addition to one high and middle school, 5 activity center, one park and ride, one government/community/human services center. So is a route you can use to go to work, to school, shopping, or any type of activities you would like to. So now that we have gone over the route profile, the next slides will be the Title VI passenger right. To ensure that Fairfax County transit services are provided in a non-discriminatory manner and the opportunity for full and fair participation is offered to rider and others in the community. Prior to a service change, we conduct a Title VI analysis to make sure that the changes are not negatively impacting low minority population. So for these changes, we have found no disparate impact or disproportionate burden. So the minority population will not be impacted based on the analysis that we have conducted. So what are the next steps? After we conclude this meeting, and of course, with you in mind, we will go back and based on the feedback that you will provide, make some final changes or service refinement. And also we anticipate a board approval in fall to winter of 2025, 2026. And we are hoping that service will go live sometimes during the winter of 2026. Thank you.
Sorry, my apologies. With all my screens, my little cursor was trying to get back to the right place. Thank you so much, Christian, for a great presentation and a comprehensive look at the proposed winter 2026 service changes. It is now time for us to open up questions and comments. Here are our instructions. So raise your hand located at the top of your screen next to the 3 dots. Moderator, which is me, I'll enable your microphone and call on you to ask your question. Please unmute yourself when your name is called and ask your question or provide your comment. Please mute yourself after you have asked your question. If you're on the phone, please press *5 to raise your hand. And when you're called upon by your phone number, we just ask you to press *6 to unmute. And after you're finished, please push *6 to mute yourself. All righty. So we do have a caller on the phone. Last 4 digits are 0469. If you want to press *6 and ask your question, we'd love to hear it.
If you can hear me,
yeah, we can hear you.
Start. So I've been living in Herndon since 2018, and me and my fiance, we've both been catching a bus to the airport because we both work there, and we've depended on the Fairfax connector because it's very easy for us to come and to work, and we think that it's probably not anybody's fault. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like MY was the one that decided to relocate the bus stop, and so now the bus goes up Rudder Road and down Aviation Drive, and it's causing a lot of people to be late for work, and it's not easy to really clock out and run a quarter mile to the train station to catch the bus underground. And there's a lot of seniors, and I think if anything that would probably cause a big problem and maybe lose ridership. And I think the main changes that we've been trying to have is maybe one or two extra buses for later service so we can get home in case we have to work later for overtime.
Right.
And this is just somebody who's had to walk a lot and catch the bus in the cold, and it's just not as easy as a change as you might think it is. Like I said, I'm not blaming anybody here. It might be MWA's decision, but also I just think that if you had maybe a few buses that would continue down Centerville Road to Chantilly, like say the Route 50 around the shopping centers there, I think that would probably boost ridership, and it would make it a lot easier to get to Chantilly from Herndon and vice versa. And yeah, I guess that's really all I have, but I just wanted to say that.
Great. Thank you so much. Those are excellent comments and really good feedback for our planners. Would any of our planners like to respond, or have you just taken notes and we'll work on that and see what we can do? I'll leave it up to you guys to respond to our participant. Okay. I think they're writing down your comments, and certainly this is recorded. We'll have a transcript of the meeting, so we'll be able to capture your comments accurately. So really, really good, thoughtful feedback for our planning team. And we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us. So with that, if you have any other questions, because we've got a little bit of time, if you have anything else you'd like to bring up, but what you said was very good feedback. Okay.
No, I don't think I have anything else. I just think maybe just maybe a few more buses that would come for later service, and possibly just
Closer.
every now and then maybe going to Chantilly. And
Okay.
that's really all. I realize, MWA makes a lot of decisions about the airport and how things are run. But just given that, people might be struggling to get to the bus on time when they're leaving work, they probably appreciate it. I mean, I know I would if maybe there was just a few more. But no, that's really all I got.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate you being a loyal Fairfax Connector customer. That means a lot to us, knowing that we're trying to, improve your life a little bit by using transit. And so we'll take a look at your suggestions and see what can be done. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, thank you again. So you can press *6 if you want to mute yourself again.
All right.
All righty. I'm just going to wrap this thing up, and we'll go from there. So we have now come to the end of the meeting. If you didn't get a chance to provide feedback verbally or would prefer to submit feedback online, please visit the Fairfax Connector webpage and fill out the online survey, which is available in English and Spanish. Comments on that survey will be accepted through November 12th, 2025. You can also call us at 703-339-7200. Finally, you can mail your comments to Fairfax County Department of Transportation. Attention, winter 2026 proposed service change, 4050 Legato Road, Suite 100, Suite 400, Fairfax, Virginia, 22033. So we want to thank you for your participation. We also have some another TTY number here of 703-339-1608. Just wanted to draw your attention to that. So we want to hear from our customers. We want to hear from you. Thank you, Mr. Pasai. Thank you for your presentation today. And we wish everyone a good afternoon. We will be hosting another public meeting this evening, virtual open house at 7 p.m. At the links provided. So please join us and if you'd like to participate a little bit more. Thank you so much and have a great day.